what kind of advice are you giving to people who feel like they're constantly the ones that are making the compromise? They're constantly the ones that are making the sacrifice. And I wouldn't say the other partner is taking advantage of that situation, but they're just aware that their partner is making all those sacrifices so they don't have to.
That's a really good question.
What do you advise them? Because in my mind, it's so easy for me to turn around, which I often do, and I say, you know what? You're clearly with someone that's not good for you. So leave. But again, if you're in a marriage, you don't just walk away, do you? So in that sense, say for example, as it is men, is everything okay? I'm going to go to the men first. You've been given everything. You come home on time all the time. You come home, you clean, you take care of your girlfriend. She wants this, she wants that, you give it to her. But you don't feel like she's contributing emotionally, psychologically, mentally. You feel like you're always the one that's exerting your mental and emotional stability to ensure that she's okay. What advice would you give a fellow brother in that situation?
Yo, bro, what are you saying?
Bro, that's very difficult.
I mean, we'll ask about women shortly, but is everything okay?
Is that in a relationship in terms of boyfriend?
Let's give both aspects, because I don't have any marital experience, so I can't speak from a marriage point of view.
Okay, I'll speak from a marriage point of view. I think you gotta have that conversation first and foremost, and actually understand why that person is not, or are they actually seeing the sacrifice, the compromise that I'm doing? Is it, because it could be a thing of, I didn't think it was that serious. So having that conversation and actually pinpointing that this is how I feel. Cause I think as men, especially, like, it's very easy to be like, I know she's seeing me doing this, but it's like, it could be a thing where you ask her and she can be like, oh yeah, I noticed it, but it could be a thing that her dad was doing and that's it. She just, that's not a compromise. That's just standard. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where it's like you have to, and I think communication is so key in these things to understand where everyone is coming from. Because we can talk about certain things in a certain part of the world can be different, to people. And it's the same thing with the compromise thing. So I think communicate that, and then, I think once that stage is done, then I think you have a bit more clarity on what to do. I think. You want to tell him to leave?
No, because I think the assumption is, everything you said, but then if you've done what you said you should do, what else is there?
What else is there? That's the big thing, isn't it? Because say you sat down with your partner so many times, you've expressed this, time has gone by, nothing has changed. What do you do then?
Does he love her?
100%.
Which one? Like,
you gotta put that in there because.
But then that's not healthy.
No. I'm just asking the question. Why? I'm just throwing a spanner in the works because
we like spanners.
Because if we're talking about love here, then that's what it kind of is, though. Like not to get all spiritual, but it's like, it's patient, it's kind, it holds no record of wrongs. It's like, it's one of those things where I don't think we understand what love is, because that question now is saying, or you've come into that relationship expecting something back. And that's not what love is. Love is a thing of giving. And even if you get treated like dirt, you're still giving. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but
so that's why I asked, does he love her?
Yeah, because why does she love him?
This is what I'm saying, that the love you describe, I think, can only be measured in the confines of marriage. Because that's where, it's game over.
That's what I think we're talking about. Are you talking about before?
I thought we were talking about
both.
Yeah, because what you've mentioned is great, but I think that's the reason, because we're asking men now, but you find that a lot of women describe what you described, but they gave it to the wrong guy. And they gave it at the wrong time, and they couldn't put it together.
Very good point.
Because and that is the right definition. Very good point. But you're doing all of that and you talked and whatever, blah. And that's when I start saying this love thing, legit, it's like, that's why I say marriage, because now it's like, it's
I was saying it from the point of marriage.
But if you're in a relationship and you're doing all that and you're pouring out, you're talking. My daughter, I tell her to duck out, straight, you're not doing that. If you're honest enough to tell me about it, because you might as well wait another year for someone else to come around. And, you know what I mean? At least, because when all else fails, that's what you got anyway. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So if you're not getting the love's there and nothing else, you don't got the love that you want back, you're pouring it out, then it's suicide. And I think we're asking questions of the men, but I don't know why it's the women that really feel that dimension a lot more, that give all that, and then they find themselves in a situation more often. I'm not saying women don't do stuff, but I think they're the ones who, fall to that. So I don't know.
So what would you say to the women then, Jess, that are in that situation?
It is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one. I mean, again, if it was a marriage, it's hard. I think personally, I would just keep trying to give and pray that, you know, pray that he changes. And again, communication is key. You can't be in a loving marriage and there's no way your husband will see and know that you're giving so much, compromising so much, and he wouldn't bend. There's no way.
I agree.
That's just,
I agree.
yeah,
What about you? Because you've been quiet. When I don't hear you, I don't feel comfortable.
I don't know. I don't know, like, to be honest. I don't know the right answer for that because, you know, you get to a point where you feel like you're completely drained. To the point where you're so drained, you've tried every avenue. You know, people keep talking about try another thing. How many things are you going to try in order for you to see a result? Do you actually want to do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, and then it takes so much, it can take so much out of you when you feel like, you know, person's not giving you what you should be receiving or giving you the equivalent back. So I don't know what the right answer is. You know, at the end of the day, I think that it's very subjective. It's down to the individual.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
And the situation.
So I don't know.
Boy.
You have to assess that you know, that relationship, that marriage enough to know what is required or what your next step is. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one who knows the man that you have married or the woman that you have married. Is that woman going to be able to eventually give me what I want? Or is that man going to be able to eventually give me not even what I want, what I need? You know? And that's a choice that you can make based on the experience that you have. So, yeah.
It's interesting because I find in those situations, when it comes to people walking away from their marriages, for example, for those specific reasons, I feel like it's kind of frowned upon. Like people look at it and they think, well, that's not really a reason to leave your marriage.
Man,
but it's like,
you don't understand what goes on. How much that person's probably thought about it and enjoyed it.
So it's like, I find it difficult to offer advice in that situation because I'm very naive, very simple-minded. And for me, your happiness and your sanity should be your number one priority. And I know people are always like, but what about the children? I still feel you can take very good care of your children if you're apart from your partner. I want people to understand from my perspective, my opinion, that you have to make sure that you're happy because you're going to die one day and then that's it. But again, I'm not married. So it's very easy for me to sit here and just pass on that kind of advice.